Love it or hate it, Cyberpunk has changed gaming forever. And we're going to discuss exactly how it's done this. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the Cyberpunk excuse. That's the term that I'd like to coin. It's a phrase I hope we all use moving forward. But we've seen it many a time since Cyberpunk's release. And we're going to discuss exactly what that means. Cyberpunk was so overly anticipated that it could do no wrong. They said, hey man, we need to work on the game a little bit better to get it right. People said, you know what? That's fine. They said, actually, hang on, we need a little bit more time to get this game exactly right. And people said, alright, you're pushing it a little bit now, but we'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Go ahead, do what you need to do. Then they said, you know what? We're going to release it on this date, no more pushbacks. And everyone was like, awesome, I cannot wait to play this game. They've taken their time with it. It's finally going to come out and we're going to have a great time. And then it came out. And it was, yeah. What CD Projekt Red and Cyberpunk have done is given the entire game industry a golden ticket. They have fucked up so monumentally that now, if a game is not where it needs to be, or, in this case, when a game could make more profit by coming out on more consoles, I'm talking, PS4 and PS5, they ain't gonna release it. They can say, oh, you know what, we've had a bad time getting the development together. Things like the pandemic have pushed it back, so we need to push back our release date in order to get this game out. Don't fall for the Cyberpunk excuse. A lot of these games would have been given to you half cooked. They would have done it. They wanted the profits. But as things stand currently, it's very easy to say we're holding this game back for your benefit. Especially when there's currently not enough next-gen consoles in everybody's hands. It means that certain titles that were only aimed for the next-gen have been pushed back massively because they know they cannot make the profit back on the game. So what do? They use the Cyberpunk excuse. Hey man, you don't want another Cyberpunk game on your hands, you don't want this to come out at the wrong time. I know we said this is the release date, but we need to push it back. They have given everybody the golden ticket in order to just say, you know what, we're going to put up a little text statement and we're going to say, oh, the game's not where it needs to be. We hear you. We're listening. We want to make sure we deliver the best experience for you. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to push it back. Now, that would be all well and good. Apart from the fact that Cyberpunk came out after being pushed back multiple times and was still trash. I'm not going to argue that there's some developers out there that really do care about their product and want to give you the best game possible. And yes, under certain circumstances in the past year or so, it's been harder to get a good game out. But at the same time, they're working to the clock and they know what they were working on. And it's very, very convenient now for people to just be like, you know what? Let's Cyberpunk it, man. Let's just put our little text out and say this is it. And the list is starting to rack up, man. The list is starting to rack up. We got Deathloop, Dying Light, Far Cry 6, Hogwarts Legacy, Kenna Bridge of Spirits, Outriders, The Prince of Persia being one of the most recent ones that came out with their little text saying, hey, we got to push this back. Psychonauts 2, Rainbow Six Quarantine, aptly named that one. Returnal and Riders Republic. All games that we should be seeing this year that are being pushed back. And yes, we might see some of them, but I wouldn't be surprised if people push them back again and push them back again. At this point in time, while the market is better than it ever could be, with everybody mainly indoors, we also face the problem where a lot of these games, like Returnal or Kenna, or let's say some of the ones that we haven't even seen mentioned yet. Ratchet and Clank, Horizon Zero Dawn 2, the next God of War game. All of these games that were billed to come out this year probably won't come out, or if they do come out, they'll be coming out really towards the end of the year. There's a reason we're not seeing release dates on a lot of games that were promised for this year, and it's a big factor. Now, nicely, some of these people aren't bullshitting us and saying we need to push it back because they haven't given us a release date. It's one of the smartest things you can do. But for a lot of those people that wanted to get in around the window of recent consoles coming out, they've now had to keep pushing back for the sake of profit. And thank God they had Cyberpunk mess up so badly that they were able to do so. I just think it's very interesting that now we have the perfect excuse moving forward. A lot of these games are going to be trash regardless, but they can now keep working on them and pushing them back to the perfect point in time, all because one game messed up so badly. And that in itself has changed the state of gaming massively, for the better and for the worst in a lot of ways. For the better, it means we should hopefully not have to see games that get released and have to be patched 24/7 to be workable, which I'm never going to complain about. But on the other side of things, if your game comes out after pushing it back so much and it's still trash and you 100% cyberpunk us, I'm going to be doubly annoyed. You're using the convenience of someone else's failure to mask your own failures. I can't decide if it's for the better or for the worse, but I will leave that up to you guys to let me know. Basically, Cyberpunk strikes again. It's as simple as that. Let me know your thoughts and feelings on this. Is there any games you were really looking forward to coming out? I feel like Ratchet and Clank really needed a release date, and it still hasn't got one. I feel like that was meant to come out very, very soon, and you know, it's really meant to showcase what the PS5 can do. I would really like to see that. I'm upset about Returnal, but I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt because everything about that game does look awesome so far, and I think it will be a lot of fun. I'm not saying it's going to be like a game changer, but I do think that game's going to be super duper enjoyable. That's just my thoughts and feelings, really, man. That's how I feel about this. I wanted to just talk a little bit about it. I do really feel like companies are holding back for profit's sake. Like when you think about, you know, there was a few more consoles released in the UK, and we see a rise by 324% in game sales. If you're a smart business, you're not going to want to release a game at a point in time where not everyone can play it, especially if you were built to play on the PS5. There's just not enough in people's hands for it to make the impact that you want with your game, especially if you're not a game that everyone's super anticipating. So as much as I think it's a smart tactic, I think it's a little bit fucked up that they can now just cyberpunk it until it gets to a point where they know we can release this into a profitable market. But hey, it is what it is, you know. We all paid so much or didn't even get our hands on a PS5 just for there to be a kind of lack of games in a certain way. But luckily enough, if you're in my shoes, you've got a lot of games that you need to catch up on anyway. You know what I'm saying? That's all I got to say for today. I just thought I wanted to talk a little bit about it. A little bit of a Monday rant. Just get it off my chest. Just like I'm saying. Take care of yourselves. Look out for each other. Like the video. Share it. All of that stuff really helps out the channel. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And don't get cyberpunked in future, man. Less pre-orders. Do your research. Peace.